What I've tried to do in this set of videos is to try and lay out the rationale, the basis for the Christian faith, which is not the same as the American faith or the scientific faith or the faith of any other nation or group. The Christian faith is very specific. It's built on a story that I believe makes perfect sense of the world, not only the way it is, but hopefully, and as all human beings long, for the way it should be. In doing so, I recognize that there are other people who do not hold the same faith I do. And so they come to different conclusions. And we can discuss those things as long as we understand and acknowledge where each other's coming from. When it comes to the controversial issue of abortion, Christians take a definite stand on the fact that the procedure itself may not be wrong, and there may be very many legitimate situations where that is a necessary procedure. But life, human life, no matter how inconsequential, always matters to God. He is the source of that life. He is looking forward to the restoration of that life. And so to treat that with disdain, or to treat that casually, or to treat it as though it didn't matter, is always a serious matter. And Christians will not take the same stand merely because the American government, by the Supreme Court decision, has decided that abortion is right. Doesn't mean that Christians are going to start using the procedure in all those circumstances that the government's now made allowable, because they're not governed by what the American government decides. They're governed by what their king, the rightful king of the world, Jesus, says about those matters. So I want you to understand that it's not with malice or hatred. It's simply standing on the convictions that we have that if the world is going to be ordered properly, it's going to have to be ordered with God once again at the top, restraining human madness and human misunderstanding of what it means to rule the world. Instead of becoming our own gods, we were always meant to rule the world, but under our Creator as He meant it to be. I know that may be confusing because over the centuries there have been a lot of people who stood up and said this is God's will and then gone off to do terrible things. But this is not that situation, and you have to decide for yourself, does the Christian story, does the biblical story make sense of the world, not only the way it is, but the way that it ought to be? For that reason, I oppose abortion, but I understand that it's important for us to back up our words with actions. And if we're going to stand against abortion, we're going to make sure we provide the homes that are necessary in order to care for those children who may be unwanted by their own parents. Thank you, and please subscribe. It's called Stifling Jesus.